focus is on student projects and presentations. Focusing on student presentations and projects today. Teachers love to challenge our students to do things in new and innovative ways. Sure, we've all assigned a paper or reading or teacher before, but it's down to having students really show what they know in different ways and broaden the gamut to have good kids. You just can't beat it, right? So to help us with today, actually one of my colleagues, Lisa Fuller, and we have a little bit of a chat around software that's out there. I started you guys to tell me you used before, so that makes sense. Powtoons, Weaver, and Microsoft Photo Story. If any of these, include the number in your answer. So if you've used all three, you'd write 1, 2, 3. If you use just one, just put one. If you just used Photo Story before, put 3. It's fair to mention, Lynn, that while the word expert is both awesome and intimidating, I think we're all works in progress, which is actually really cool about these apps. They become better, and I hope it's one of the biggest things I've noticed about Google is that they get better over time, and that's true with this. Hopefully, by the time everyone leaves today, everyone will get a little bit better. Even awesomer instructions. And folks use Photo Story, which is brought Lisa on with us today because she is one of those county-wide no Photo Story evaluations from here to Damascus on that boy, if I do say so myself. And the first things that I had asked was on Photo Story, how does it compare for education? What's out there I can use as a replacement or a co-placement for Photo Story? So Lisa, you put it here. Can you give us an idea of how it compares to Photo Story, what you like about it?
I use Story a lot as a curriculum with teachers in in their schools. To Google, so we can no longer use it. And Carrie's right. WeVideo is the closest that we could come to the simplicity of Photo Story. What WeVideo, as I did with Photo Story, is once you give the kids the directions, kind of step by step through what it is they do to create one, you have it in their hands. And for me, is the key of any good app or any good software is that the kids can be truly user-friendly. Photo Story and WeVideo, you drop in your pictures. There's that's created that you can select if you want music. There are options, as in Photo Story, that you can select and that you can differentiate for the students who are more tech-savvy. Then you set the criteria for what's expected on every video, and then allow the students to explore. I can't stop them from exploring too much and let a little bit further or keep to the basics. So that's about it. I see that some others have also used it. So I'm curious, you're in the classroom more than I am. Curious to know what it is you've done.
Video on the screen. Share your thoughts. You want to open chat window up again? So just take your cursor to the top, and you'll see a little chat button, and you can talk. And you can see, Lisa, would you be a Photo Story user? Like, if you were kind of comfortable with Photo Story, when you look at this interface, does this make a lot of sense for folks?
Story steps you through page by page. The way I did this and other students that I worked with, I kind of did some guinea pigs along the way to see if it worked. I started uploading media. So when you click Upload Media, it takes you to your picture files, which to the students, you have to have in advance of starting this. This is really the end project of a unit, the end of the inquiry project, for instance. So the pictures are already gathered, and can add speak in, just like in Photo Story, they can add their own text, so they speak up to them or up to the teacher.
I'll put a shout out. If you've used Photo Story, what kind of things did you use it for? Because we make a connection here if that's a really old, you know, if it isn't the right app for yours, we're always glad to find things to match up. So feel free to put it in the chat if you do have any ideas. I think it looks pretty user friendly too. Even for if you just have any kind of experience with any kind of video editor, this is pretty intuitive. Video. The second is getting a lot of play. This is both some elements, but also secondary is Powtoons. So anybody mentioned that they had used Powtoons yet, but and Len, you have something to jump in on this too. How for Powtoons, and at what grade levels does it work?
Well, I think it can be used throughout the grade levels. I think your really younger kids are going to have a learning curve with it, but the elementary, third, issues, there's preloaded videos on there, so you can go ahead and take a template that's already created and add your own words. So it's extremely user-friendly and quite fun, actually.
Lynn just said, that's easy to use because of its templates. So you could certainly start your own Powtoon where you don't have to use a template, but younger kids, I made one today. Don't know, I was in a meeting, and I made one today, and didn't finish it purposely because I wanted you didn't use the template. I did like the first 2 pages of the template, and then preview it. I actually published it, Carrie, to YouTube very quickly, and I just got notification that I think, is that mine that says book report? In one of our classes over the summer, IT 85, the teachers were required to submit to us an orientation plan for their staff. One of the teachers used Powtoon to do orientation for the Google Apps. And that's not it, but that's actually the template I use. So it's just extremely engaging. It takes just typing up a book report and giving the kids a way to present their information.
Ever giving kids a slide architecture to fill in? The same can be done here. There's so many different types of projects, that different types of templates can get something really, really cool in a very limited part of time. Something that's cool about this is the kids figure almost faster than we do, right? We go in and we tackle the learning and their content knowledge, and then the animations and the pieces and the instructional stuff. And this isn't the beginning of instruction either. This is something that they do, putting all the pieces together. Would that be fair to say?
Yesterday, your menus, we lost our wireless for a little while, or maybe the Chromebooks aren't in the building or they're not available. So if that's not quite handling the privilege of using the Chromebook, that's okay, because they can still do the work. They would still do the work on paper pencil. This is an end product. This is a concept. Once our own little portfolio of apps, present those to the kids and get them comfortable, they could choose the appropriate one. It might be a Google Doc. It might be a Google Slide. It might be video, and it might be Powtoon. Carrie, the YouTube link So you can open it.
Oh, great. And that's coming through. I'm going to make two things that you should probably note for yourself. There's Powtoons. I don't know if you noticed when I was pulling it up. I want to see there's a Powtoons and a Powtoons EDU. You do want to add Powtoons EDU. Both work on your machine, so pick the EDU. And that's that I find really cool when you launch this app, you notice, is you get in with your Google Apps for Education account, so you remember something new. Like, see, I'm Carrie D. Booth. That's my account. I don't have to make a new one. I don't have to attach it to a personal email. I can do it all through my Google Apps for Education stuff. And now, Lisa.
And you probably know who these kids are in your room if you're a classroom teacher. And I know it almost as soon as I go into a classroom to work with kids. You know who your savvy kids are. Give them the app. If it's on this app and say, hey guys, see what you can figure out for me. And I'll come back and tell you if it's even worth using. This is, and they'll tell you what might have, what was really an easy part of it.
Yeah, I do want to show it to you. Nothing came through in my email, but you have the chat there. So why don't you, if you want to post the link to it right chat, that'll make it really easy for us to come up.
Okay, hold on. That piece. I'll find my chat again. Hold on, guys. There we go.
A couple folks. If you're Powtoons now, do you have an idea for how you might use this in, maybe the beginning of the semester, the end of the next marking period? What kind of culminating end? Any ideas how you might use this? If you've come up with one, share them in the chat, please.
Lynn, the 5-minute limit for the free version. That's a really important piece. But 5 minutes is actually a pretty long time.
And if you think about it from an instructional point of view, if you go 5 minutes, don't go longer than 5 minutes of videos. People don't watch. So it's like to tell the fifth graders too. Yeah.
That's the part I didn't do. This is built for them to just fill the blanks, which is great. But love that. That's automatic. That's the template.
You like the hand bringing things down. I have to agree with you, Lisa. I do as well. And so you leave it during another meeting. Could also build really cool stuff like that. So, Powtoons EDU. Second, to the technology integration matrix. This is what we talk about quite a bit in our work, and we talk about integrating technology at the adoption, infusion, and transformation level. And they talk about this. If we come in, give me an emoticon smiley face in the chat. If you can get. Let me zoom. Not yet. This is your lucky day. When we the integrated matrix, there's research that goes into it. This research is into Florida, and the top part here talks about the different levels of teachers. You start technology as a part of regular instruction, and them use technology tools to deliver content. Adoption is going in and using the technology tool in a directed, conventional procedural use. At students exploring and independently using technology tools. So first time you do a project, that book report Lisa was talking about, and you're using Powtoons adoption. Here to infusion. We provide the learning context, and the students choose the technology tools to achieve the outcome. With Lisa, our students pick the right application to the job at hand. And there are so many apps out there. What kind of do you give teachers who are crafting inquiry assignments as to allow suggestion use apps? What do you suggest for folks?
small and, you know, sort of get a sense of your class or your classes, what's going to put too much emphasis on learning the technology, because it's about the technology, it's about their instruction and what they have learned and what they're going to share. So you girls do each project, and by the fourth one, they choose which of all of the technologies they've learned. So that's the adaptation. Which one would make the most sense for the assignment? And you certainly don't have to just do it with inquiry projects, with any assignment. And matrix, like I find myself always questioning, where am I today? Where, you know, what focus? Am I in instruction right now, or am I just really focusing on the tool? And there are times that I focus on the tool, but keep reshifting my thinking about, is this the tool? Is it about the tool, or about the best way to use that tool for what it is the kids are doing? So I keep asking myself that question. Once they're created and they're finalized, it's a great opportunity for the students to assist each other. Did learning take place in technology because of the technology, or was it a really good combination of both?
Great advice to ask the question, to keep it simple, to kind of move from those pieces as they go. Another advice I've heard, and I wonder if you guys have an opinion on it, is that you don't have to know Powtoons, or you don't have to know video like the back of your hand. You have to know what it can do, and the students can fill in some of those tech pieces. How would you feel that piece of advice? Yeah, expert to for your students to use for a project.
What I found with the apps that they follow the same strategy and technique. Video is similar to photo story. There's a few ways to really insert an image. So once you know one of them and get good at it, like I said, just keep it simple. It's not about bells and whistles. The whistles kind of complicate things sometimes. Keep it simple.
Given you folks a couple of ideas. If you've loved Microsoft Photo Story in the past, video is a nice replacement. And Powtoons comes on strong as a way to scaffold student work in a really neat, engaging way with a high impact of needing to know a tremendous amount to use them. What happens when you're working with your students and you want to monitor their student work time? Let me, in my Para slide here, Para. If you use Para, give me a big yes. Give me a smiley face or a not yet. App that we actually purchased for every teacher in the county. You all have access to it. Put all here and click on Hapara Teacher Dashboard. If you don't for Hapara Teacher Dashboard, or actually going to this little link will get you there. So I'll give a little explanation of kind of the first reason people like Hapara is because these, when you can, it's all the names of your students are listed, and this is actually everything your students have saved in the folder for your class. So this is a writing grade 4 class. It's Ms. Hawkins, one of her students, and this is all her drive. So sharing their work on a big project, and they're collecting and doing things. This is to see all along the way when they're doing it. Kind of one of the things that Hapara does for you is it lets you see all of their student work, but it also lets you why they're working. So if you back to tab right here, and you want to screen at this time, boom, see what's on Julie's screen. me exclamation points that lets me know if you're smiling or not. If that's useful stuff. This is from your dashboard on your computer. Put this on your Promethean board. So you go ahead and put that, and you see what everybody is doing. The drawback to this, though, is that this shows you on their screen, but it didn't refresh exactly. So you'd put it up there, but Julie would navigate from here to, it's not supposed to be, there's some snakes game that was in a class I was in last week. I see it because this doesn't automatically refresh. So second little app that you can use with your internet called Easy Auto Refresh. A colleague of John Allaire found this. This is that, if I dare say. And if you add it to Chrome, quick sec. Our teacher dashboard. So go to apps and then click on Hapara Teacher Dashboard. That's one of these guys. And I'm going to go into my fake class here. Here's all my student material. So I could be monitoring them, but looking at their documents, I can move over and see what the documents look like. I updated 1 minute ago, or 2 minutes ago, or 3 minutes ago. And turn on, I could see what was going on their current screen. What is it added? It adds this little icon called Auto Refresh. If I click on it right here next to my Omnibox, refresh in real time. Type it and press start. Every 4 seconds, it's going to refresh my screen. It's really cool, but you have to press refresh a lot, and it automatically refreshes it. Now I want to make it every 15 seconds. That works. If you have Hapara, because we've got some newbies to it, go put them in the chat. If you don't have questions, just give me a smiley face. Work. We're not going to do giant detail here, but I'm going to mention 2 apps for you. The first is Google Slides and the Presentation Remote. Now for the Presentation Remote, a new one. That's kind of what I'm going to get to share on. Because let me, have any of you used Slides before? Not yet. Yeah. This is one of the built-in apps. It's like Docs and Sheets. It's kind of one of those absolute basic ones that you like. If I go to Drive here. Google Drive. Presentation, you say new, and Google Slides. Teachers have used some kind of presentation tool. We used probably back in the day. We used Slides, back to Hyper Studio days, right? The idea of having presentation software is not new. Is the collaboration involved and ease of use with Slides. to give a presentation and share their work. How and easily. Coming in and give each of your slides, give everybody a name. Here's Wendy. Of course, Lisa, my project, Lisa. Liz, Jean, and Jean. Presentation coming up. All students and told to presentation. Imagine it something as simple as everybody has to read a document and summarize a sentence. Well, wouldn't it be cool if you saw slides and they made their presentation right here? They write speaker notes in here. How fast is it? It's not everybody fills the PowerPoint. It's taking a whole time to turn things off. You get 1 or 2 slides. They're yours. You organize them, make them instructionally relevant and beautiful, and then get your presentation back. So before consider it's an efficient way to give students their own tiny space to present others. They'll make their own presentations. You can also pull them up on their Chromebook and read block, just like you did them back in the day in a computer. But now you can do it easily from books in your room. Lisa, mic's on. If you have anything you want to jump in and share with slides, I know you're a big fan.
I think it's a great way for collaboration. It's best to have the kids have to find space. Sometimes we'll doc instead of the kids to collaborate. Doc line, they can give them their own defined space. But everybody ends up with that document with everybody else's input.
Too, that if everyone went to Powtoons and made their video, like they went in, they made a video, it's awesome, like Lisa says, we're super, and you want them all in class. Or maybe you just want everyone to watch everyone's presentations. Well, that can be Lisa here. Here we go, Lisa. Insert video into any. So, excuse me, by URL, here's Lisa's presentation, and I press select and embed it in my presentation. And I mean, how super easy is that? We can put Lisa's name, we can write, and you can imagine every student's work with everybody in the class by clicking on the button and sharing. You should do U.S. history here. Have everybody come and edit, and they can embed their videos right in here. Thoughts? If you don't have any, go ahead and give me a smiley face.
To add that I meant to say earlier, it doesn't matter what your presentation piece is, the criteria for your project doesn't change. Key thing, you still have the same criteria for success on a inquiry project or their book report or whatever. But then you can also get good skills around the technology too.
Presentations up. We all want to break free the board in the front. The calendar, can we move? Can we do these things? So here's the app I mentioned with presentation remote. Here you can see my little presentation remote. It's this guy right here. And you can also search for it if you went and wanted to look it up. I can go presentation, store after things, and I tend to find them, which I do. Presentation remote allows you to control Google Slides from your phone. And if you've seen me present in person, you can see all the gestures that go into this picture. You'll also sometimes see me holding my phone, and I swear I'm not texting other people while I'm presenting to you. I'm actually looking at my presentation on my phone to keep my pacing going. I like to use this to keep me, on target. I have old versions, so I'm going to show it to you. And what you do is you just copy and paste the presentation URL into, you just copy and paste the presentation URL into, close it up a little. You click on the presentation URL and you copy and paste it here. Switch account. I'm logged in twice. Sorry about that. And then it's going to make your presentation come up right here, and you're going to be able to connect to your phone. It's going to send you a little space to do that, and you will be able to get your presentation. This app is really cool in that it's really simple to use in those ways, and you're able to use your phone to move through your slide deck while talking with students. Any questions? As Appy Hour presentations are recorded and post them on our Appy Hour site. So if you've been there before, you can get a host of them. I think we're up to, we have about 10 different unique things recorded. And also a longer link is throwing in the chat. And you can find the topics we've done. We've already posted. And this should get up there as well. I started Twittering. Thank you, Lisa Fuller, for being on that adventure, with the entire purpose of promoting Google Apps for Education and Appy Hours. So if you follow me, the things I'm doing is telling you about these Appy Hours. If you learn something awesome that you can't wait to use and you do something really cool, share it with us at the hashtag #GAFAppyHour. And we will be tweeting with you and for you on this hashtag, and we hope you join us. We're looking for guest presenters, like Lisa was my photo story, the GAF expert today, but we also have teachers who come on and do this with us. So if you share really good ideas, we're expert in our next topics. Before how you liked today's presentation. This includes these folks out there who are watching this in recording, so asynchronous learning, right? If you can, please click on that to make it a little easier, and share what you thought about today's Appy Hour. We really appreciate it. We'll be that Lisa's thrown in her Twitter information, and she's even better retweeter than I'm. If Lisa, kind of parting shots you want to share, feel free to jump in, guys. And if not, thank everyone for coming today. Yes, Jen.
Can you hear me now? All I'd say is take a risk. You don't know it, but just try. I built a lot of test weaving, how-to's, and everything, and just try it out, and then take a risk with your kids because they're going with it, and love the results.
That takes us up in our technology integration matrix. That kind of takes us to that next point. We're moving from entry level and kind of control-directed experience to giving them to explore options to make meaning out of their learning. And if we're going to get to transformative instruction, really what we're doing are we're developing students that to use the resource on them to be successful human beings. Maybe 100 years ago, that meant something totally different. But it's those tools, type tools that we've been presenting today. So the you do to infuse your instruction and adapt what the more your kids, not just in your class, not just when they're revisiting, but for life. Today, and hope you have a gappy rest